One, go. Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Raise Your Vibration with Raelin. I'm so excited today. I have my wonderful dear friend Robert Alexander with me. He is an audio alchemist, founder and creative of LifeRhythms, and he has a wonderful, several wonderful stations known as Evlove on Spotify, Pandora, Bandcamp, Apple Music, and he's also found on Insight Timer as Robert Alexander. So thank you and welcome to the show, Robert.
Hi, my pleasure, Ray. Such a blessing to have me on. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you in this space, truly. So when we talk about audio alchemist, what is that for people who don't understand? An alchemist kind of sounds like this big lofty word, right? And it gets used a lot, but it's very descriptive and it's a perfect word for exactly what you do. So if you could explain that today, we'd love to hear it.
Sure. Just don't tell Merlin, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's see what we can do. Well, we're living in a world where the term coach, like coach and healer, is pretty much used all over the place. And
yes.
With the evolution of what I've created, I figured at one point, why would I want to call myself a healer? And why would I want to blend in and call myself a coach? So as you'll be finding out shortly, with the power of music and being able to work with the human experience, there's been a lot of magic. So I figured there's alchemy. Like when you think of alchemy, you're thinking about ultimately, things turning into gold or you just never know. So there's just a lot of power and the magic under the word alchemy. And when you think of audio, you're thinking of probably frequency, vibration, music, whatever it might be. And it's pretty much me. I'm an audio alchemist. I love working with music. I love working with the human experience. And I love seeing people transition and shift.
So can you explain to us a little bit about, well, first, let's start at the beginning. How did you get involved in this work? How did your healing journey with all of this start? And then we'll get into what you do through LifeRhythms.
Sure. It's a little bit of an interesting, my inner journey ultimately got me to where I am today. I mean, at the same time too, I always knew, I think the experience really took place when I was in my late teens. I was playing guitar and I just felt this channeling coming through me, like this just energy. I'm going, it's not just me here. I just don't know how to describe it. And of course, very much being involved in listening to new age music and just listening to a whole bunch of different genres and really being influenced of what I've been able to do. It's been such a powerful thing, like a huge, powerful experience. So I knew at a very young age, I had this ability to work on music and see people feel influenced by it. For instance, playing the guitar, and people would say, oh, wow, I feel so relaxed. At the same time just even me being able to be there for friends. It seems like these things right here, just these years and the space in between, I just have this amazing ability to be there with people one-on-one. So even growing up, people would say, are you sure you don't want to be a therapist? You're so supportive and you have such a huge heart and you're just such a huge helper. So with my love of music and my love of being able to be there in service, and especially realizing the more conventional on my path, especially with the multitude of experience doing other things, which I can immediately go into that and people going, oh my gosh, you can do all this. I'm one of those multifaceted people without wanting to be everything to everybody, including being a graphic designer and doing a little bit of voiceover and from admin and blah, blah, blah. There's just all these just span of things. No matter how conventional I would attempt to, go, even being in the corporate world and eventually being laid off, working for a startup branding agency almost 4 years ago, I just realized, you know what, it's important for me to pursue my passion. And that's one of the reasons why I went with LifeRhythms full force, or at least evolving it and organically expanding it in a motion that it needs to be, even in this phase.
I love that. And I love too how it's important for us to recognize and realize that all of the experiences that we have in life, right, inform us and create the context of who we are today in this present moment. And these present moments, right, will inform and create the context for what's coming, what's unfolding for us tomorrow and the day after and all of that. So
yes, organically for sure. Organic unfoldment. I'm coining that one.
Right? So everything has brought you to this point, and I love that. Robert Alexander really does have a rich background and a wonderful tapestry of all of these experiences that have kind of informed who he is today and how he uses the power of music. And it's such a healing modality because it can create that state change in a moment, right?
As long as you resonate with it, absolutely. And
Yes.
especially if it's something that you're in tune with. Like, for instance, some people can listen to new age music, they will elevate. Some people listen to more like ambient and down-tempo music that's may not be as popular in the United States, however, it might be really popular in Europe. And
Right.
you can go to a spa and hear music that was made in the 80s that's more like a new age, and people would just be like, what is that? I don't resonate with that.
Right.
Well, obviously, I'll get into the process at some point. Music,
Yeah.
in my opinion, can make a huge, huge difference.
So let's jump into it now. Then I think it's a great segue, right? There you go. We're
Yeah,
diving in.
let's do it.
Let's talk about it. So with Life Rhythms, it is such a unique concept that you have developed, co-created with Spirit. I know that Spirit has absolutely informed everything that you do with this. And I truly, guys, I'm telling you, this gift of generosity that Robert gave to me in what he does with Life Rhythms and how he creates this personal one-on-one work has just been so transformative. And so I'm just going to let him talk about it, because anything that I would try to say about it to describe it is not enough. So Robert, share with us.
You can give your experience. It's okay. I mean, everything you do anyway is a co-creative experience, and that's the biggest thing. So, again, everybody has their own modalities, or everyone resonates with specific modalities.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way I can say it is with Life Rhythms, there's a few different areas in terms of what I'm doing with the business. So, my biggest thing is offering support. And like I was saying before, offering music and actually creating these personalized pieces of music,
Mm-hmm.
able to offer personalized support. That means I work with people all over the world. So the beautiful thing is I'm creating content for, like, audio content for individuals when going through session, and I'll expand upon that. At the same time, I'm creating personalized pieces of music. As I've said, there's times I also create it for the masses, so you'll hear some of those pieces on Insight Timer and doing things that way. Beautiful. At the same time, too, I'm even creating personalized pieces of music without doing session work, and it's one of those fine lines, right? And at the same time, too, I'm also hosting digital sound baths. So it's a whole different thing. If you've never heard of a sound bath, it's a whole different avenue. And it's a bit of a different way than working with people one-on-one. So what I was doing with Raelin is basically, so what I normally do to start off working with somebody, of course, through having conversations and seeing where they are, I've been able to find a way where I've been inspired by different modalities like hypnotherapy, talk therapy. I guess you could say it's almost like CBT to a degree. I'm a therapist. That's one of the reasons why I call myself an audio alchemist.
Right.
I've been able to use my own individual experience and worked with different people, different mentors, different people in various industries to create my own process. And just because it's my own process doesn't mean it's patented.
Right.
I'm not suing anybody. We all have our influences. I mean, the Romans weren't sued, right?
Right.
And the Romans pretty much took things and just made it their own and said, here you go, it's ours, Right. So what I do is basically I start off with a 90-minute session. Wherever you are in the world, again, I work with people through Zoom or through phone, even in person. And I almost get the chills. Like I can feel myself almost like tearing up because the process is so beautiful. And the beautiful thing is I work with your belief system. You don't even have to believe in spirituality. You can believe in science. At the end of the day, the people that have come to me most times are very curious. Like sound really resonates with them. And when it comes to having a unique experience with the space being held for them, a lot of empaths have come to me. A lot of musicians have come to me. A lot of even spiritual light workers, anywhere from Reiki to, gosh, I mean, there's been so many people that I've worked with.
Yoga, right?
Say what?
Yoga.
Oh, yeah. Yoga for sure. A lot of people in terms of their emotional mastery and continuing to work. As I'm expanding my emotional mastery, I've been able to hold space for those in a similar capacity. So I right off the bat, I tell people too, if I'm helping them find ways where they're working with themselves, like their own value and what have you, I'm continuing to expand my own value. I'm one of those people, like I was talking to Raelin prior, I'm continuing to get my stuff together. We don't stop running until we stop breathing. So
Yes.
anything I bring to the table, I like to bring some personalized experiences to the table too. So you have something to identify with. It's something to illustrate. If one feels very alone, unheard, unseen, I like to do everything that I can in my end to hold space in that way. So the reason why I'm saying this is because out of a 90-minute session, for the first 45 minutes, and you'll get like a prep guide, which I've created.
It's beautiful too, you guys. It's beautiful. It's stunning. It's gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It's me.
Yep.
And my biggest intention is to inform, and I always love helping people help with the process. If they're like, oh gosh, I'm not tech savvy, I can help them set up. Usually the session's through Zoom or through phone, but primarily through Zoom, so I can really capture the audio and doing different things. So I'm kind of going off on a tangent to a degree, but first 45 minutes out of the 90-minute session that we have, I really get to know more about you, like what's really present in this present moment, because you can be giving me a write-up in terms of what's going on in your world right now, and that can be shifting as we speak.
Right.
So my intention is to take notes. Okay, I take notes, and I'm noticing different habits, different patterns, not necessarily overly analyzing, just taking note of what I'm hearing and different things that might be possibly in your way. I use intuition. They can be considered guides, spirit. I really don't like to put a label on it. I call it source. I even feel reluctant to calling myself a clairvoyant, because we all have intuition, and I'm just allowing myself to really be present with you. No interruptions.
Yes.
And at the same time too, I'm just taking notes. And there might be some things I'm noticing, and I could even ask, like, so from what I'm sensing, I'm noticing you're experiencing XYZ. Is this something where you may want to be feeling resolved? Or there might be something even deeper that might be creating these different things. I guess you could say it's like the root of whatever symptoms are being created.
Yep.
Most times I'm pretty accurate. There's other times where people would say, no, that's not really present for me, although this really does. And I work with wherever you are. I don't like to put any labels or just assume or put anything into your head. I'm not even here to tell you what to do. I'm really here as your ally, as your guide, as your friend, someone to hold this container with and explore with you. And the next area I would do is more of a guided imagery to help you get more in tune. So I guess you could say it's like alternate timelines, using, working with the inner child, working with past lives, whatever it might be. It's like whatever you feel most comfortable with. That is the most important thing for me to go through with you. And just like craving a pizza or craving a burger, you may not want the same burger, for every meal. So at the end of the day, it's just really going with you on your journey with what resonates with you in this present moment, right? So doing this inner journey, doing this inner discovery, there might be times you may not want to go somewhere. And I'm not going to force you to go there. It's more of a matter of willingness. You could say, you know what, I'm willing to go inside. I'm willing to see what's going on. And at the same time, too, you might say, but I feel scared. I have no idea what to do. I feel frozen. Great. Would you like to take a look at that? And let's see what we can do together. And again, we're co-creating here. I'm helping you on your journey here. I'm co-creating with you on your journey. So the intention is we're usually a lot up here. And the intention is for us to be more down, here, or more in our gut, right? And so the minute we get to these certain areas, there's usually a pretty dramatic shift that takes place once we're able to create some sort of resolution. That's a whole different conversation. I just want to make sure anything that I say can just really, I don't want to say truncate, and can really bring everything up into what's happening, right now, and just bringing as much clarity as possible around the process. So the intention is to bring as much inner resolution as possible. And that's where it's really cool, because a lot of people feel very calm. They feel very connected. They may not even realize where they are. And they're just really establishing this fresh new perspective on how far they've gone to create inner resolution with what's really bothering them. Or they want to expand more upon what's already working in their world, which is amazing. So you just never know what's going to be unfolding, and neither do they. Every single person would have no idea what to expect. Just as I have been with mentors that I've had, I would have no idea where I'd be exploring and what might be happening that day or taking place. So this is the cool part, and this is where I get the chills. And I had this idea, which I could always talk about the inspiration a little bit later, because there's more to it than just what I shared before. So here I am, working with you ideally for a certain amount of time, whether it's, once a week or a couple times a month or whatever it might be. So I'll be able to connect with you and ask you, okay, here we are, anywhere between 30, 60, 90 days from now, or even longer.
Yes.
because the intention is to keep it as fresh and as current as possible and be in the feeling. What do you need to hear right now in the recording to help you maintain this state?
Yeah.
And at the same time, too, even share experiences. Some people have a hard time opening up. So,
Yeah.
how's everything in XYZ? Like, how's career? How are things with your relationship? Or how's the dating world? And it's almost like an interview where I would be asking questions because some would have a difficult time even articulating what they're experiencing. It's more a general feeling, you know?
Right.
And I really want to make sure I'm really doing what I can on my end to really help bring that essence up. So the cool thing is, they're able to share this, and I also asked them to visualize an image. So if they were able to look at this image, it would bring them right back in that state of mind.
And I remember talking about this image. So after going through all of that, really, it's like a mini hypnotherapy therapy
session. That. I have so many people tell me, "Oh, it's a past life regression."
Yeah. Yes. It's all of that.
And as you're integrating that too, visualizing the image, like, wow, you do. The homework I usually have is, and I have it in the guide, is for people like, you're going to be doing some major deep digging. So whatever you do, you might be having unexpected emotions. I'm here as your ally. I've actually wanted to expand it more than just doing one session, because people would have like, you know what, this stuff just came up out of nowhere. I don't know what that
follow up. Right.
No matter how much is going on, no matter how much I've been able to help other people, holy crap.
Yes.
You know, what's going on? And I want to open it up. I usually check up on people the day after. I have them reach out.
Right.
So
and I was surprised, and I think I told you this too afterwards. I was surprised really at just how much came up. And, you know, you had shared with me that, you know, after our session, you know, there's things that may continue to come forward, and it's okay. I'm going to be reaching out to you, and you really help hold that space very well. And you did. And
thank you.
I even shared with you, even the rest of that day, I think I had to kind of check out and just take it real easy on myself, because there were a lot of powerful stuff moving. The energy gets going, and you know, I agree. It's the connection here, but it's also the space that you hold and the power of it. And then when you brought me to the visualization piece of it, it was so incredible, because there was an immediate image. And I remember saying to you, I don't know what this is called, but it's triangular in shape, and it's like these rings that are connected, 3 of them connected.
Yeah.
And you said, okay, so hold that image. And you encouraged me and said, you know, I find that some of my clients that I work with, you know, have to go and Google the image, right? And so I typed it in.
We're not using this for promotional images.
Yes,
this is your image. Right. So that being said, too, and pardon me for interrupting, because you're bringing up a valid point too.
Yeah.
And you also heard me speak quite a bit as well. So I just want to make sure, you know, at the end of the day, what I would do is offer that support.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing too is I would record you with that final statement. So in essence, you're affirming, you're creating an affirmation. Yeah. And this is coming from you. This is something where you've had a reference point. I can't just say, visualize yourself making $100,000. Right. And that's not my place to say, this is your experience. And again, this is all confidential, right? Mm-hmm. So I take your recording and actually create a piece of music that goes behind it. And I'm allowing spirit. It's more of an ambient piece. There's a method that I have with it, and it's a pretty organic one. Mm-hmm. And I'd rather just leave it at that, just because it's just a whole connection in that way. It's not like I have like this
people have to
process or anything. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, there's people. I mean, there's times where I haven't been able to create the music like immediately, like day of or day after. Mm-hmm. I'll be able to take some time within like the week or whatever it might be, and we'll talk about it. And the intention is, when I'm working with somebody, usually it's a minimum of 2 sessions, kind of like an intro type of a thing. Yeah. So I like to work with people for an extended period of time, and ideally, I like to create them within like a 30-day period. Yes. So at least you have what you have. And you can grow into it, and you have support along the way. So the beautiful thing is, this is yours. This isn't some prepackaged canned thing. Oh, by the way, we'll download this, and then, or I'll give this to you, and it's already pre-made. The one-size-fits-all approach, and I appreciate the intention behind it. People ask me, don't you get tired of creating these things? I'm going, no. Why would I want to be tired creating things? Are you telling me that when I've done over 80 of these over the past 5 years, and I'm just going a smaller number because I'm very selective with who I work with.
Yes.
And the people that see that, they also see the value in that as well.
Yeah.
This isn't for some like, massive, thing. And I'm sure I'll be able to create some sort of, go-between type thing. I guess you could say in a degree. I mean, this business has been around since 2013, although I really started focusing more on this approach since 2014 when a friend of mine, he was thinking about meditation. I was really great at giving these guided imageries. I was like, wait, something has to be personalized here. And when you hear people like, my name is Charles, and I'm here to give you your guided affirmation, it's just, well, does that noise, does that voice resonate? It could be like the content, the voice, or the actual music behind it.
Right.
And one of those three, or some sort of combination of the three, could just get messed up.
Right.
However, people ask me, I don't like the sound of my voice. Like, why do I have to hear my own voice?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, well, because you've had the reference point, you've been there before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've heard people drop, in terms of not drop, I've heard people shift their tone and their voice, like the feeling of relaxation.
Yeah.
Like, Ray, when you went in for yours, if you don't mind me like sharing, like, holy cow, like the channeling, like the download.
Wasn't that incredible?
I had to stop you because you had like this process going on, and you could have probably easily went on for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't want to shut off whatever information was coming through.
Right.
And holy cow. And I've seen healers go into a space. One person who I worked with who is in Canada, I was so grateful to see her create an experience. And I'm sure, I'm not going to use her name, obviously, anonymity.
Sure. Yeah.
At one point, I had her like, I said, if there's anything you have to share for you to listen to, what was your experience? And she's like, my little girl who I worked with came to me, and she held all the answers, and she gifted me with these answers.
Wow. Yeah.
And she was just like, holy crap, like this is really powerful. And everyone has their experience. And every single time, if I'm continuing to do things for different people, they're all going to have their own experience with it.
It's all unique. And I think you even said that my voice changed. You told me that initially when I came out, I didn't have a recollection of anything that was said or what happened.
No, not at all. And I even noticed myself going into session work where I noticed myself like, I'm dialed in.
Yes.
And I want to share my human experience because I want people to know like, hey, I can relate.
Sure.
Not to make it about me.
Right.
And also the beautiful thing about not being a therapist is, the whole HIPAA privacy thing, and I can be more personable in that way. And I'm not here to pee or poo on anyone. You can leave R. Kelly for that one, I guess. But
I know.
No, thank you. I'm good. I kind of went a little bit further there, but at the end of the day, I'm here to work in tandem with people.
Yeah.
So,
it was powerful. And when I listened back to it, first of all, when I found out what that image was, and then I sent it to you, and I sent to you what it was called a Trinity knot. I was like, oh my gosh. And then when I heard the piece, when you were finished with it and sent it to me, that's when it really just hit me, and I was just so overcome, and still am amazed at all of it. I mean, it's just, you guys, it's an incredible gift of healing, and it is something to be experienced. Words don't even do it justice. It's an attempt, but really it is. The space that Robert holds for you is so insightful, so supportive. We talk about the healing space right here. He holds that level of space. He truly does. And it's his personality. It's what he exudes. It's his radiance and the way that he shows up in this world and in this life. And it's absolutely phenomenally incredible. I wrote down emotional mastery and guided imagery. I just love that, how Spirit just brought that through.
I feel the same way, because I know for me, I mean, perfectly honest, like I woke up this morning, and even after experiencing some major like deep stuff, and I have no problem broadcasting this because it's really important.
Yeah.
A lot of people doing spiritual bypassing, especially on the spiritual path, and we all have bandwidths. We all have certain levels of understanding, right?
Yes.
The more we expand, there's no down button on the spiritual awareness path. We just keep on going.
True.
We can cover up as much as we can.
Yeah.
There's times I wish I didn't know as much as I do know, and we're doing our best to navigate through this life. And I've realized, even since purpose was popping up, what am I doing? Shall I scrap stuff? Like, gosh, I'm getting in my own way. I mean, questioning, like inquiry, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
things like not good enough or whatever it might be. Human, right here. I'm highly considering making t-shirts saying, thank you for being human.
I would love
Because
that.
seriously,
I'll
we're
buy
human.
one. Yeah.
I have no problem making them. I mean,
You
again,
should.
I've been doing graphic design for 20 years. That's what actually got me into doing, well, I was conforming to the whole corporate culture.
Yes.
Or corporate culture?
I know, say that 5 times fast.
Yeah. Say it 5 times fast and just imagine.
Oh.
I was talking to somebody in relationship to looking for work.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen people do the conventional thing when it comes to looking for work. And I get it. If you resonate with a 40-hour work week, 80-hour work week, great. I invite you to dive into what feels right for you.
Yes.
And that means barely getting by and working a 40-hour week because you feel like that's what you need to do to survive or thrive.
Right.
Great. Do it. My intention, and tell this with anybody, you may want to feel crappy. So my intention is for you to feel the way that you want to be feeling right now, even if you unconsciously enjoy feeling miserable. And I know what that's like. I've had a tendency.
Will you say that again? Say that again. That's powerful because I think there's so many people who need to really hear that.
Let's put it this way. I've had an unconscious commitment for a very long time to feel comfortable feeling uncomfortable. And at the same time, too, I know there's a commitment to feeling good and discovering what that feels like. And I'm a human being, you know.
Yes.
I know what it's like for people to feel joy. I know what it's like to be in my joy, even dialing in and connecting this way. And I've realized is some people say, well, I hope you feel better. And some people they don't want to feel that way, or they may not want to, or they may not know how to shift into it, right? I'm still working on my mastery with that, and I'm still able to hold space for other people. So that's why I don't like to say yes, because this, and even this means the same thing in different countries. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I tell people I invite you to feel the way you want to be feeling right now. And you may not want to be feeling good right now. You may want to be feeling stressed. And you might be like, no, I don't. Well, you may not consciously know it. And I'm not here to make you wrong. You know, if it's anything, I hear you, I see you, because I could probably relate with you. So I invite you to feel the way that you want to be feeling, whether it's happy, sad, scared, angry. And you have every single right to feel the way that you want to be feeling right now.
I love that. And I think so many people, like you just said, will consciously say out loud, I don't want to feel this way, or I'm feeling this way, but I don't want to feel that way. But you're absolutely right. The power of the subconscious mind is such that it continues to inform and influence what we feel, the emotional states, what we radiate out and express out, because it is a commitment to it. And that's the key. But the wonderful power and realization when you come to notice that is that we can change that.
Yes.
At any given moment. My gosh, Spirit.
And I love this one too.
I love it.
Yes.
Well, I just said Spirit is moving powerfully through you, and that's a huge message. We often are unconsciously committed to feeling uncomfortable.
And my girlfriend has learned through Gain Katie Hendricks. I know she'll be happy to hear that little plug. And my girlfriend has a very successful business, like yoga business. I'm working with somatics and working with yoga and other modalities as well, with women primarily up in Santa Barbara area. And he's talked about fear melters and doing these things to help melt fear and move things through your body. That's something I'm continuing to work in through mastery as well. And at the same time, I just know that when it comes to, I remember going to visit a cousin of mine who came in from Italy, even though I'm not Italian. She's American-Italian, you know, through nationality. And I remember at one point I was feeling really crappy. And I remember telling myself out loud, I really enjoy feeling crappy. And I actually started smiling. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So I realized, you know, I was even writing because I was feeling sort of off this morning, and I was journaling, what's the payoff of creating blocks?
Yeah.
What's the payoff of creating my blocks? What's the payoff of feeling miserable? I get attention.
Right.
You know, even though it may be unhealthy attention, I'm creating more of what I don't want, you know, which keeps me safe. So
keep rolling. Keep preaching.
Yeah. So it's that organic download, right? Because I realized, you know, my old storyline is, oh my gosh, I keep creating dynamics where people seem like they're interested and somehow they just drop off. And that's an old tape, you know, these old Now these days it's digital streaming. We can just delete a file and create something new.
Right.
Back in the day, you would have to re-record over a tape or throw out a tape again, like a tape.
Remember, we'd have to tape over the tabs, right, on a disc, on a cassette disc.
Yeah.
And the tabs on the end would recorded.
Totally.
We'd have to tape over that in order to rewrite over the thing. Yes.
True. And we would have to actually press the record button and play at the same time.
At the same time.
That's the benefit of actually recording from the radio as well. You can actually record songs on the radio.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know the play button and the pause button have the same button? Like they share the same button, you know, if you were playing a CD or even pressing pause or pressing play on your MP3 player or your phone.
Yeah. Or the phone. They do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's huge. The pause
Pausing,
and play
time out. You know, it's even like hold up, time up. You know,
is the
pause
same.
like a pillar, right? And the play button, you know, just keep on going in motion. There's double rewind or double fast forward, and they're both sharing the same too.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we have this ability to press pause in our world.
Or to press play, and it's a choice at any given time, right?
It gives almost the same value. There's a time for pressing pause. There's a time for pressing play. My brain,
this is huge.
Going on this loop, you know, like the whole looping and repeat.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it's like, what can I do? Where can I go? How's the best way to do this? Like, I don't care about perfection. I care about moving forward, and I'm sure many of you can resonate with that.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like we so get it.
We do.
So it's just how we do.
But sometimes you're absolutely right. Those thought tracks and those loops in our head and the chatter and the chatter and the chatter and the constant motion.
Yes.
To hit that pause button to step backwards, you know, gain some distance and some space and some observability of everything, and then refresh. Damn, this is, sorry for cursing.
No, you can curse. I'm dropping F-bombs all the time. This one, just like, what the?
I know, right?
I was going to say to you too, like,
huge.
And the people that are watching this, they know this isn't for everybody. I mean, this is intended for everybody.
Right.
This isn't going to this isn't for the taking for the people that are really committed to their journey.
Right.
And that's okay. There's the people that will crack open a beer.
Yeah.
Or there's the people, go ahead and do ayahuasca, you know?
Yeah.
I find it fascinating, and I'm not here to shame anybody here. If you really feel like you're enlightened by putting on a bindi and jumping on a bandwagon and even going to festivals like Burning Man, and now you come back enlightened, that's cool. And there are some people that are hiding behind that, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not putting Burning Man down. I know tons of burners. I'm an honorary burner. I have 17 and a half years of sobriety. You know, I encourage people not to do anything while in process. There was even a woman who I was doing a private session for, and it's called either Kratom or Kratom or whatever it is. It's helping with anxiety or whatever it might be.
Okay.
And basically, she was feeling so nervous. She was about to feel like she was getting a panic attack. Went in session, and I said, just how about this? Would you be willing to like not do that for a moment and just see how you feel after we go through the process? And if you feel so inspired to do it, no problem. And it just so happened she didn't. She was fine.
Wow.
Okay. And I'm saying this because this information is not for everybody.
Right.
You know, they may not be as receptive to it right now. Just like me picking up a book from Eckhart Tolle.
I think that's how you say it. Yes. I love it.
I never know what I just like to be as accurate as I possibly can. I remember in 2008 when someone told me about this book, it didn't resonate with me and I couldn't understand like, the languaging and what have you. And fast forward, like here, like in a couple of years later, me going through my growth, I guess you could say like a bit of a growth spurt and expanding that way. I started to look at the text again and said, oh, wow, this totally makes sense to me.
Yes.
This recording might be able to help others that might be
absolutely
not as there yet.
Yeah, I'm floored. I'm not usually, you know this about me, I'm not usually at a loss for words, but the messages that you've just shared with us they're so impactful and they're so powerful. And I know that this is divinely ordered and so useful. Thank you so much. So I know you also have, you have just so many musical endeavors and all of that you're doing. And we talked about this, and I know that there's a couple pieces you'd like to share with us. Would now be a good time for that? Would that be great?
Yeah, I could even talk over them too. I mean, anything. I mean, so I have this music project called Evlove, and people think Evlove, or is that Evolve? No. In fact, originally the project was called Truth, I put the little like double dot, the umlaut on top of the U.
Yes.
People didn't know how to put that in. And I figured Evlove would just be a great rebrand. I definitely know how to rebrand, especially when I work with businesses and helping them with their rebranding. For me, it's just always excited to work with strategists and see where I can continue to fine tune, no pun intended.
Yes.
So this project, I don't know if you know, Ray. So I have this music project. It's signed to 2 labels. There's a main label called Geomagnetic Records. And one of my albums is called Essence. It's signed to a label under them called Bass Star in San Francisco. And then the other one I have is called Modern Ritual, which is basically signed under a label in Chile called Omnimoon.
Wow.
So
I did
technically
not
I'm
know
signed these 2 albums, even though I have 5 that are out right now. There's 2 that are signed to 2 different labels. So technically I'm an international recording artist. And I have music on Pandora, Spotify, and what have you. And I've been looking forward to releasing new content because all 5 pretty much have similar songs. Although, like my first album has a whole collection of songs. Second album is pretty unique. It has a couple songs from the first one. Third album basically, so they all have similar songs or different ones. But you can tell there's some that are from previous albums that are on newer ones. Long story short, there's new content in the works. It's just the difference between what I'm doing with LifeRhythms and what I'm doing with Evlove is LifeRhythms, I basically am creating music and helping people individually with whatever they're going through in that way.
Right.
I have a creative content business, so I'm doing graphic design, I'm doing sound design. When LifeRhythms is a little bit more on the slower end, or if I'm choosing to work on other projects. So that's when I'm working with conscious entrepreneurs, helping them with their podcasts, helping them with organizing, and I'm creating music for their own purposes, for their business. So they own their own stuff. That's a huge thing. That way they own it, they can sell it, they can do whatever they want. So fast forward to Evlove. Evlove is my stuff. Evlove is me. And that's me creating whatever I want, whether it's a DJ set, playing an acoustic guitar. So I just really wanted to truncate and be very clear with those different areas because people would say, "Ooh, I love to have the LifeRhythms CD."
Right.
No.
And where can they find your albums at? You have LifeRhythms. It's liferhythms.us, right, is your site to connect with you there. And then where can they find your albums then, your Evlove albums?
So this is where it gets really interesting, right? Because I don't really have a dedicated website for Evlove. So I have, if you're familiar with Bandcamp, that's a platform. I have all my albums. I even have LifeRhythms stuff under the same page, so it's somewhat together.
Okay.
There's SoundCloud, where you can actually stream my music as well. There's a lot of unreleased content that I have on SoundCloud. I mean, it's released, but it's not on specific albums.
Right.
And older material as well. And I have music on Pandora, Spotify. If you're a Spotify user, I have like 5 of my albums. In fact, I have music featured on compilations from Geomagnetic Records, quite a few of them at least, since I've been signed with them, those 2 albums for quite a few years now. And then I also have music, again, on Insight Timer, which is under LifeRhythms, although you're asking specifically with Evlove. So yeah, I mean, if you're a Google user, I think Google Play dissolved into YouTube. So I definitely have music on YouTube. I'm just curious about where that's unfolding. I have music on iTunes or Apple Music. At the end of the day, I have music on Spotify. I have music all over the place. You can pretty much find it globally.
And it's beautiful. Yeah. We'd love to hear some pieces.
Yeah. There's one that I haven't released yet, although it's been on a podcast. Should I share my screen?
Sure. Yes, please do.
Cool. Okay. You'll get to see a little bit of my messy desktop.
It's all good.
Computer sound. Optimize for full screen video clip. I wonder if I should do that too. Who knows? That's okay. I'll just do it like that.
Whatever you feel led to.
So this is basically what I've used to create my music, and you can see.
Wow.
It's a little complicated here. So this is a song that I've created. It's called Slow Mover.
Okay.
And I made a commitment to a coach that I've worked with to help me get some things together. So there's just a lot of these interesting instruments, and it's called Slow Mover.
Okay.
So I guess I'm curious, if I stop sharing my screen, would you still be able to hear the sound?
Let's try it and see. I'm not sure about that entirely.
Let's do it this way, right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or you could probably minimize.
There's all these different synths that I use, and I mean, it's a little challenging to see like in a full, I could even say it. These are all just different lanes, which are different areas of where I activate the certain sounds. Like you'll see when you go to this little like.
Is there a piece that you have like on one of your platforms or something that you want to share?
I could.
Yeah, let's do that. This is fascinating. I don't understand any of this. I know it's a digital sound system and it's freaking cool.
It's a digital audio workstation. There's different ways that producers produce their music, and I use Reason as a primary source. There's other programs that I have too, but this is for Evlove. Like this is like a newer sound that I'm kind of crafting in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of giving you like an idea of what I do. It's not necessarily new age. It's kind of chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe if you're open to it, we can include a link in the comments for people to, go to one of your pieces on one of your platforms.
Sure. Well, I chose one in terms of, this one's not up on a platform yet. I'm looking forward to it. Although, if people are interested in connecting with me and they want to see if there might be some sort of synergy or something, I could always, as a courtesy, send them that piece of music.
Sure, whatever. I mean, I don't, I'm not trying to give anything away.
Oh, no, I don't have an issue. It's a pleasure to see if they're interested and if they like it.
Or if there's a link to one of your songs on Bandcamp or something like that, we can.
Yeah, definitely. That was actually going to be the next one. So you kind of have an idea about it organically, it organically just like grows, as you could tell.
Love it. Wow.
So that's one. The other one that I have, I just released onto Insight Timer not too long ago. Okay. And it's actually called Ground. So that's the one that I would have people tune into. I was actually creating this originally for a coach. I figured if you can benefit, if other people can benefit, I want this, made for me. Yeah. So I figured, great, this is something that's a little bit different than what I've done with the other track that you heard. This has rain. I thought it originally was ocean, but it's actually rain. And this is something that I was able to create to help. And it's an hour track, so like literally, there's links you can listen to. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a snippet of what I've been able to do with it.
Would love it.
A very, very different sound than what you heard before. So the intention is to really tune into this space, call it a sonic journey or a digital immersion, because this just really gives you the opportunity, if you're open to it, to tune into something that's really important to you.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person who I made this for originally, she got the chills, and she's like, "Oh, I love this. I love drones." And
yes.
And the sounds in the background. There's some soothing nature sounds.
Very.
And this all came intuitively. I mean, I'm far from an expert on this program. There's experts in everything, and as you can tell, I'm pretty well-rounded. I want to say jack of all trades. Although it's really important for me to really offer a variety, and if there's anything that I cannot do, I'll be able to work with somebody. Oh gosh, do you know anyone that does Reiki? Great.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
So collaboration is a big thing for me. And when I say collaboration, I mean it, because it does take a village.
Yeah.
And when you are working with the right people, anything and everything is possible.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the share too.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Awesome. Now, I know that you've got some projects in the works and things like that. You want to chat about that?
Yeah, well.
And how people can connect with you and all of that.
It always seems like things are in transit, things are constantly in flux, and so I'm always excited to connect with people, especially if they've tried different modalities, they've attempted to sample a few things here and there, and I do whatever I can to open up time to connect with people. I'm always staying open to collaborations and partnerships as long as they're on the same page. And the way that I look at that too is what's happening right now, what's super hot, and what's potential, like what's coming up maybe shortly over the next couple of months, and what's long term. Because again, with me having a music project, with me having LifeRhythms, and again, creating content for businesses, there could be a timeline that can be all over the place. So my intention is when I connect with people, I have no idea. They could be a business owner. They could be transitioning from being in the corporate world or having a business to going somewhere else. So what's really hot for me is I've been meeting a lot of people that have been interested in collaborating and partnering in various spaces. And lately, I don't want to say I've been filtering them. I've really been doing what I can to connect, align people. I'm a connector as well.
Yes, you are.
So that being said, the biggest thing for me right now is, I guess you could say I've been doing a little bit of a rebranding in my world. So at the same time, I've been restructuring a few things that way in terms of bringing more visibility for myself. In the meantime, too, there's been some people that have been interested in collaborating and partnering on some projects with LifeRhythms. And the digital sound bath stuff too, obviously. People are curious about
yes.
that.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I'll be super quick on that. So I could say this is a show of hands. You can either like if you want to in this place. How many of you have been, involved with sound baths, just traditional sound baths, whether if you use, crystal bowls, gongs, didgeridoo, rainmakers.
Gosh.
My process is it's a little bit different. I've been using ambient sounds, organic instruments, more synthetic instruments because I've been using that platform. And in the meantime, too, I've been using the power of guided imagery and the power of human experience. The intention is not to just play these repeated sounds over and over again. It's really feeling the room like I would do with one person. And at the same time, too, seeing what comes up in the room. Now, going through the AA-oriented type of rooms, I somewhat resonate with it. It's really beautiful to have the group experience. And I've realized that people, in order to get a real present experience, I find it important for people to share. Although they feel uncomfortable, they can just maybe share 3 words. How are they feeling right now?
Yeah.
And there's no judgment in the space. That really helps facilitate the greater space, because that way I'll be able to create an experience that's relevant for the entire room. And
you do this on the fly, like in the moment, essentially, right?
Yeah, I like to do what I can to hold the environment. It's great to have a theme. And I've had a lot of people look at me just kind of like, what? Like, when I'm going to a sound bath, I want to go to a sound bath. And I figured, well, I want to stay. Have fun. Well, when you go to my sound bath, or a sound bath that we're co-creating, not just mine, when you're going to an experience I'm providing, you are going to be experiencing something different. But I've seen people check out. I've seen facilitators at spaces or owners at spaces check out because they want something that's traditionally
a little more traditional.
So I guess you could say it's more like a workshop than just a sound bath. I'm not just providing like these sounds and just go, all right, guys, enjoy. Like, the intention is to get a little bit more intentional with it and to see what I can do to create that container with it. And of course, if you resonate, if you want something on your own journey, then I can obviously have a communication with it.
And you're local in the Ventura, California area, is that right?
Yeah, I live in Ventura, California. I'm in Southern California. However, I'd love to find a way where I can make this more of a digital thing and have it more like live and doing it that way. So that's also one other, I'm going back to the drawing board. I love using analogies a lot, as you can tell. And if I'm throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks, I figure, you know what? Why waste all that spaghetti if it falls to the floor? Just have a little container, get some pasta sauce, and you can diversify the pasta sauce. And if you like garlic bread, there you go. You have dinner for like 5 months. You may be sick of spaghetti, but guess what? Now you get the meatballs and, peppers or whatever you want to add in there. Why waste spaghetti that's been pretty much thrown on the wall? So I have a lot of pasta dinner.
Love
there's
it.
a lot where I can just sample, and I've met like a lot of people who have different ideas. And so getting back to what am I doing, I'm also going to be turning 40 at the time of this recording. So I'm turning 40 7 days from like today, like a week from now. So there's a lot of, what's going on. So I'm really doing my best to press pause and then press play. And then at the same time, rejuvenate. I just came back from a very powerful trip to Los Angeles area. And there's just a lot of things that are brewing up. And my intention basically is just to stay present to the people that are feeling so spot on, like you and me, Ray. We got some talking to do, kind of like Lucy. You got some spinning to do. You got some talking to do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I love holding that space with you. And I Well, I know that we were connected for a reason, and I know that there's collaboration for us as well.
Oh yeah, hats off to the Wellness Universe, by the way. Anna and Sherry,
Yes.
you have connected me with so many amazing people. And
Right?
Yeah.
100% the space that they hold there, and they just have that influence to, and on the recording right now where we're at, it's 11:11, my friend.
Boom, Pacific.
And we're talking about collaboration and future projects and Wellness Universe and all of that. I love it.
And I love the sign in the background and says space. And then my girlfriend has an audio message for me on my phone. That's kind of funny.
Oh, that's funny.
Together, 100%, right? Little tiny, like right next to my battery life too.
It's all together. Wow.
All here. Boop.
I love it. So we have about a few more minutes left, about 10 more minutes.
Sure.
Is there any message that, maybe you would like to share with the audience in terms of, their healing journey and how they can incorporate more music into that, or just, the wisdom that you've gained along your path and in your journey as well?
I'm laughing because Spirit is just like, bye now. Hi, would you like to have a template with a template? Let me give you a template to go with another template. It's just, I'm saying that because a lot of people are saying yes and a lot of people are saying no. Mm-hmm. And the best way is right now, you may have a craving to listen to a certain piece of music. Mm-hmm. You may wonder, is that wrong? Is music wrong? You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether you tune it to 432 or 528, I'm telling you, there's so many people in this day and age. Oh, do you use binaural beats? Oh, do you use this? You know what? Right. What if it doesn't resonate with you? What if you think it resonates and it doesn't? So you might even hear some bitterness in my voice because there's a little bit of frustration in relationship to people asking me, like, just like that show, The Greatest Showman. My girlfriend loves that movie. I think it's really powerful too. This is me. Mm-hmm. I get to be me. So I invite you, whatever you choose to do, even if you're like, hey, Robert, we need to have a conversation. I so resonate with what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Please, I'm all about that. I will get back to people through Facebook. Yeah. And obviously this is through Race Page. You can find me as your friend. Friend me, write me. I will make time. I will connect. If you're like, hey, I feel lost, please, if you feel that open, that compelled, listen to what intuition's telling you. I promise you, I'm not going to be tearing a hole in your pocketbook or wallet, whatever it is, or I don't mean to at least. I'm here to hold space. So back to music, back to the human experience. I mean, I listen to everything from metal from time to time. I mean, I was listening to Elastica, that band in like the 90s, like grunge. I mean, I play Nirvana-inspired guitar and sing like REM style, like Dave Gahan. And I just, I like putting the FU infusion. I like saying that. I love being able to really just blend. And this world, there's so many like segments. At the end of the day, my intention is if you feel inspired to do something, do it. As long as you're not consciously creating harm to anybody, you're not tearing someone's arm off. Hopefully you're not tearing yours off. Right. If you feel disconnected, the intention is to feel as much connection as possible. Yeah. And if you don't want to, again, I invite you to feel the way that you want to.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm saying that is because any way I can support, anyway, even Ray can support as well. I mean, we're all here to help. And it sounds cliche and it sounds pretty like, oh yeah, everyone there, Jewish or Catholic or Irish grandmother is saying this. It's just, at the end of the day, there's people that we resonate with. Mm-hmm. And right now, you might be craving something now, like I was saying before, like a pizza or a burger. Mm-hmm. And 20 minutes from now, you're like, you know what? I don't think I want that anymore. I think I want Thai food.
Right.
Or I might even want vegan Thai food versus like full on just bringing all the chicken.
Right.
So I'm saying this because like right here, right now, you're being given a choice and you may have certain cravings. And so whatever you choose to do in a healthy way that feels right for you, please,
I love that.
I invite you to pursue it. Frequency wise, I mean, we're all part of frequency anyway.
Yes, we are. You guys, this has been such a pleasure holding space with you, Robert.
Likewise.
Robert Alexander he's an audio alchemist with LifeRhythms and the creator of Evlove. He's got multiple channels and ways to connect. I'll have all those links below. You can find him on Spotify, Pandora, Bandcamp, Apple Music, iTunes, Soundcloud, you name it. and his website is liferhythms.us. He creates custom pieces of music and visualization for you, and a customized guided imagery emotional mastery experience.
I
All
love
his
that.
words, right? That's exactly what you've shared with us today.
Yeah, we're all in works with our emotional mastery, and some of us
Yes.
artists and creators. And by the way, multiple. I mean, I could say I have multiple personalities, but I no. I mean, there might be some voices from here to here, and they're definitely not
Yep.
saying kill, kill, kill. So
Right. I love it because we're all diamonds, right? When we're all have facets and various layers to us, and multiple dimensions, and we are multiple dimension human beings. So
yes, we are.
thank you so much for holding this space with me today. Thank you so much for bringing your voice and showing up into the world the way that you do in such a
Thank you too.
beautiful, healing way. You know I love you. Sing your praises till,
And love you too. Right back at you.
forever.
Seriously.
Yeah, I do. I feel it. Yep. My friend, thank you so much. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Raise Your Vibration with Raelin today.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I so appreciate you all just being willing to check this out.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.